You just say what's up, guys.
What's up? I thought you were.
No, you say it. I say it.
All
You
right.
say it, Sean. I'm Chris.
All right. Yeah. Did you do it?
This is gonna be our downfall. This will be our downfall.
This is it right
Look,
here.
guys, we're only
We
like
can't even get started.
We're 2 whiskeys in. For anybody who hasn't noticed, we're wearing the same clothes. So this is take 2, so episode 2 of the Whiskey Noobs.
It is.
This is going to be in the outtakes because none of this is going in the actual video. All right, ready.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
I'm Sean.
I'm Chris, and this is the Whiskey Noobs.
Cool.
All right. I forgot we're not clipping that. We're actually just rolling.
We are just rolling.
All right. So this experiment that we alluded to in a previous episode is all
previous episode.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah, the only other one. The only other one it was an experiment where we want to have fun, right? So one of the things that I wanted to try, because I have access to a lot of wood.
He's a woodworker.
There's no innuendos in there. Is I wanted to try force aging whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a little bit of research, not a lot. I'm not an expert. The
dog's whining.
That's Alex.
Alex is whining.
He's not our mascot.
And he won't get us a beer. He's not whining.
Alrighty then. So I wanted to force age whiskey. That's the experiment. And so I've taken some white oak that I had out in my shop. There's a long story behind that, but needless to say, this is the best use I could find for it. So we're force aging whiskey. And because this is the first time that we've done this, and it's my whiskey and not Sean's, we decided, because if it was his, we'd have chose the best stuff he has. But because it's my whiskey, I chose my bottom shelf stuff.
Yeah.
So we've got Mellow Corn. Mm-hmm. This is one that really intrigued Sean.
Did a blind tasting of it.
You know, for anybody that's had it, you understand it's very bold, but it's got one flavor profile, and it's straight corn. And so we've got Mellow Corn. I didn't feel bad about pouring this into a jar and maybe ruining it.
Right.
Maybe making it into something fantastic.
We'll see.
Jefferson's. This is the regular small batch Jefferson's. I'm a big fan of the Jefferson's Reserve. The standard Jefferson's, take it or leave it. It's just, it's okay. It's okay for the money. Didn't feel bad about pouring that in a jar. Maybe making it better. Maybe not. This
Christmas present.
This was a Christmas present from someone who found out I was into whiskey and was being very thoughtful and bought me whiskey. I don't know if you've ever read the bottle. But if you read the bottle of Kentucky Gentleman,
we learned a lot from this.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah.
But it's 51% whiskey. The other 49% is just grain alcohol that has been distilled at levels so high that it no longer carries any of its original.
What they call it? Spirits from the finest grains. Sorry, I just wanted to quote that because that sent us on a journey of investigation.
The way I understand it is it's basically 51% aged whiskey, right?
It's already been whiskey. It's real whiskey.
Right, and I think it might even have I don't know. There's a statement of 24 months somewhere, 36 months.
Yep.
So the 51% of here that's in here that has been aged has been aged 36 months.
Yeah.
So it's basically 51% whiskey, and the other 49%, my understanding, is just grain alcohol, which should basically be what we would call moonshine.
Moonshine-ish.
Yeah. It's not bad. Here's the thing, folks. I wanted this stuff to be so bad that I just couldn't drink it.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like water. I mean, you drink it.
Yeah,
there's no flavor. It's just there's no burn.
Used to. It's not.
There's no burn. It's just you drink it. There's really nothing to it.
Yeah. Somebody might like it.
Yes, I'm sure there's people out there who do.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It just doesn't really taste like much. So in my mind, this is the one that we can improve. Out of everything here, surely we can improve that.
Kind of excited about that one.
That's the one that interests me the most.
Yeah.
And I'll go into a little bit about why in a minute.
Yeah.
This one we're probably the least interested in.
The least whiskey of the whiskeys, I would say.
So
in my opinion.
I purchased this bottle very early in my whiskey journey.
It's like your third bottle that you bought.
It was like my third bottle I bought, and one of the main reasons I bought it is is actually, you're going to find more about this person because they're going to be one of our first guests.
It was a recommendation from probably our first guest. Yep.
Yes. So this was a recommendation from one of our guests who actually prefers the Jack Daniels version. And you'll get to learn a little bit more about them in the future. But they recommended, I love the Jack Honey.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, I'll try the Wild Turkey Honey. Maybe that'll be good.
Yeah.
And this stuff is just super sweet. If any of you have had it,
pancakes.
Yes.
Like
it is just sweet, sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
And to me, doesn't retain any of the real whiskey flavors that I enjoy.
No.
So I didn't feel badly about putting it in a jar and force aging it. And this is probably the one that, I mean,
I've smelled it. Okay, I smelled it before we started, and I'm not going to give anything away yet. And I'm curious to see, but I'm a little scared at the same time. So
yeah, this is probably the one that worries us the most, just because we didn't enjoy the flavor profile from it to begin with.
Yeah.
And now we've done something weird to it. So this one's going to be interesting. I'm going to dare say we save this one to last.
It's got to be last.
Okay, so we're going to save this one to last.
last.
So just a little bit about the force aging that I did. I wasn't very scientific about a lot of this stuff, and but I will tell you what I did. So I did take the white oak. This is seasoned white oak. We did toast it. Toasted it in
different shapes of seasoned white oak.
We did. We tried just a little bit different surface area. I saw that might have some effect, and honestly, based off of color that we've gotten out of these whiskeys, I would say that it did have an effect.
I think it did.
And so it's seasoned white oak. We baked this in the oven. What did it? No, it was much lower than that. Was it 220 for 2 hours?
Yeah.
And some of the research we did said that would impart the most
of the notes and the flavor.
What was we going for, like caramel and sweet, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and so that was kind of the notes we were going for, and so we toasted it at that temperature for that time period. I have no idea whether or not that actually works, but that's what we did.
We'll find out.
And we put them in jars, mason jars. We're in North Carolina. It's gotten cold here recently. Cold from North Carolina. I know there's a lot of folks out there who would laugh when I say cold is like, I don't know, 22 degrees or something.
Yeah, no.
Maybe is the coldest it's gotten here lately. But say around the freezing mark. So we have had freezing temperatures.
Yeah.
And then my house has kept it a comfortable 72 degrees. So
some may say that's uncomfortable, but it's okay.
So anyway, these jars have spent 12 hours in the cold, 12 house in the 72 degree weather, for 5 days. And then I removed the oak and put it in a little Ziploc, threw it in the refrigerator to stop. That's supposed to stop the aging process, from what I understand. Remember, guys, the name of this channel is the Whiskey Noobs. Right. We're just doing what I read on the internet. Okay.
That's right.
So anyway, that's what we've done. That's what we've got here. We've got 4 jars of whiskey. I didn't feel we could really mess up, and we wouldn't really be that upset if
my feelings would be hurt.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be hurt if any of these are really bad. Worst case scenario, we have prop whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely. You may see these in later episodes.
Or we put one of these in like one of the most expensive bottles I've got, and when someone comes over,
that's what we pour.
We give it to them.
There you go.
And they don't know. What do they know? They're whiskey noobs, guys. They've never had whiskey before.
Right.
Maybe their jam
Candid Whiskey Noob Cameron.
Yeah. Maybe their jam is Miller Lite.
Yeah.
So how are they gonna know?
Yeah.
So that might be what happens with this whiskey. Or you know what? We might just, out of the 4 of these, find that we've done something radical, and we may never be able to repeat it. But we've done it one time.
Yeah.
And so we're going to get into these. We're going to take a quick break. I need to refresh a little bit here. My parched mouth.
And I will just say, we left a little bit of the original. So we're going to do some comparison,
for sure,
as you can see. So we're going to do some comparison tasting. So we'll taste the original first, so we can just 100% remember what it was like before we taste the
because science.
Exactly. Before we experiment on the science aspect.
All right, we'll be right back.
Boom.